day 60. Hope this is day 60. I didn't write it down again. It said I just started this habit and I've already forgot about that. I changed the date, not changed it. Anyways, today is day 60. Let's see what we had for today's picture. A little more time consuming today, but it still wasn't really a difficult picture. Had quite a few extra things to add here and there that I haven't typically have to do for my last couple pages. Also, full disclosure ahead of time, if this is a tad bit more sloppy than my normal videos like this, it's because I'm not doing a lot of editing because it's late and I'm lazy and I have to get this out before the night is over. So I want to make sure you can get this video. So it's going to be minus some edits, but should be okay. So let me skip along here. I'm just putting in flats. Quite a few characters for this page too. I just talked about how I had not put meta, or I wouldn't really be drawing meta for quite a while in the remainder of the story, much less the chapter, and here we are just days later and I have meta back in the page. I completely forgot about this because he's still a part of the story. Obviously he's a main character, but he's not doing anything for quite a while. But I forgot about this important detail that's happening in the story, so he had to be a part of this particular page. I forgot that this page even existed. So, or not the page existed, but this little nugget in the story. Didn't realize until I was drawing it out. But yeah, meta's in this page. Now he shouldn't be present for quite a while. But like I said, Alexis is back. Going forward, I'm gonna be drawing a lot of her, Dan, and Raekwon. Along with Raekwon was, of course, as what comes with him and Dan, I have to go back after putting in my flats and add in the fire details into their clothes. There's Raekwon and there's Metas. Me not doing turnarounds for the characters really came to bite me with this one because I have no idea what Raekwon's flames are supposed to look like from the side, so I had to improvise that a little bit. Another thing that never really became an issue in my mind until I encountered it. Just to note too, because I'm already thinking about ideas for my next comic. I always talk about how I get ahead of myself way too soon, but I already have ideas for my next comic, but I'm not really trying to focus on it too much because I don't want to lose focus from this one, but I don't want those ideas that I have in the future to go to waste. So little stuff like me talking about how I didn't have a character turnaround for Raekwon, so I didn't know what he was supposed to look like from certain angles. I'm taking notes. The notebook is in my bag right now, so I can't grab it, but I'm taking notes and I'm writing this stuff down so I know what to do with my next comic so I don't have these same issues. Sort of preparing myself into the future. But sticking with Infinite Uppercut, there's shading of Alexis. Like I said, there's a lot of browns happening, so a lot of stuff can get blurred, at least with my eyes working on her, just because all of the colors of the features of her hair and her face and her eyes, they're all so close. But I don't think I did too bad. And the odd shadow color that I use for her hair that normally messes with my eyes when I'm working on her, it seemed to work for this page. Not really sure why, but it came across really nice for me. I don't know, maybe it's a front view that sort of brown looks a lot harsh, or maybe I need to try coloring her hair out of order so I can see what it looks like with the rest of her colored in. I don't know what it is, but in front views that brown seems too dark and harsh to me. Here, it sort of came out a lot better. So I don't know. Got the rest of her shaded in. Moved on to Dan. It's Dan. Like I do so many headshots of Dan. This may be something to keep in mind down the line, but I do so many headshots drawing him from like here up. Most of Dan's detail in his clothes and stuff is from the waist down, so it makes for me sort of drawing really simple or making the coloring very simple for Dan when I work on it. That and the fact that most things with Dan are facial related, so I don't have to really be concerned with the coloring and getting certain. So it's really simple. I don't know no other way to put it. Skipping along here, cleaning those shadows up. I have to do that almost every time I work on Dan. It's probably the only real issue that I have. Then Raekwon. As extra as it is to color Raekwon because of the flames on his clothes, it's actually one of my more favorite characters to sort of do shading and coloring on, which I'm happy with because he's my main character. I draw him more than anybody else, so I give myself a pat on the back for that one. Skipping along here, getting the shadow and the shading in there, the highlights in. Went ahead and got the background in. I think I'm looking for, what am I looking for right here? Oh, I think the detail in the actual dungeon that they're in, because I think I added the neon light in on the top. Yep. So I added the neon light into the background, back up some, so I at least show that one. So that's almost a faint line from the light itself, and then there we go. So I added that in there. Now I only did that just because it's been so long since I had a wide shot in detail of the environment. I wanted to make sure there were still pieces of the environment that sort of catches the reader's eye so that they can still connect it to the room they're supposed to be in. Because I feel like I've been using just gradients to create the visual of the room way too often without you being able to see where they're at. Something that really only sort of gets in my own head, but I just feel like those small little details need to be added just to catch the reader's attention. Like there's, I don't know, to remind them of like certain things that's happening, so it just doesn't seem like, it doesn't get boring or bland after a while with the same thing being shown all the time. Even though the focus right now is no longer the environment because of what's happening, I don't know. I just feel like as long as the reader doesn't get bored, those little like sort of drawing tricks that you have to do when making a comic, I already got slight talking head syndrome going on. I don't need you getting sort of tired with the environment as well. Just something to keep things interesting, to keep your eye and everything going as the dialogue's taking place. Which luckily, dialogue is one of the things that I'm most confident in my comics. So I don't worry about people getting bored too much, but just visually, I want to still have everyone stimulated. So this is just me. Skipping ahead here, that says just doing in the shading and the details in Ray's clothes. I love the fact that I have certain characters refer to Raekwon as Ray just as a nickname in the comic itself, and now I do it as well. Let's see, skipping along here, and I worked on Raekwon for quite a while apparently. All right, I just looked at the time on this video too, and it's backwards or it's going in reverse. It threw me off. I'm about to say, I know I've been working on this for longer than 13 minutes. This bottom panel, I was about to call it a page again. This bottom panel, more of me working on Alexis. I used the wrong brown there. That's the brown that, actually I don't know why I picked that brown up at all, but I ended up switching that with the one it's supposed to be. That darker brown, like I said, from a side view, it sort of pops Alexis' features a little more, and it's not as brown and as washed out as it normally looks sometimes. But I don't know, head on, it takes away from the way that she looks. I don't know. And I can't figure out why that is or what I'm doing to make it look like that to me. But like I said, the next time I draw Alexis, I might color her, shade her, I should say, out of order just to see what it looks like. But yeah, it's just shading in her face. Let's skip along here. See what we got. After I finish that, I think I detailed in her mouth a little bit, at least the lips. And I'll move on to the back part. Now, what you see in the background with Meta talking to Alexis is a flashback. It's not really anything happening currently in the story. It's Alexis sort of having a reflection of previous events. But it's a previous event that you've never seen it in the story. It's sort of just being brought up now, even though, or it's just relevant now to the story. You never actually saw it. It happened behind the scenes as other things were taking place. So, there's sort of a key plot point to this, but like I say, I don't get into text or nothing like that when I do these videos. Try to leave that for, if you want to check the comic out, you can check the comic out and read that for yourself. Don't like spoiling sort of major details. But anyways, that whole scene in the background, it being a flashback, I wanted to make Alexis to the far right pop, and you be focused on the fact, or not be focused on the fact, you are aware of the fact that what's going on in the background is a flashback. So what I did here was I went ahead and colored Alexis and Meta in the background as I would any other page. And then when I finish getting all the crazy details in on Meta, his mask and everything, I went and found a background that's suitable, I guess, for the dark plane outside of the tour bus. So I picked up the sky here, or at least a piece of it, and at least a piece that would make sense outside of the tour bus that they're in, that I was drawing earlier in the chapter. I used that and sort of blow it up and place it behind those two characters. And then what I did from here is simply took low opacity black and just colored over all of that. And I made sure that I did Alexis and Meta in a different layer from my normal line art, so that I could select that easier and wouldn't create too much of a hassle on myself. So I didn't have to go in and select everything and then do the gradient or do the sort of darkening up of the image. I don't know why I'm waving my hands so much. I don't know what type of magic trick I'm trying to pull on y'all. But yeah, as you can see, I went ahead and darkened that in. I made it a little too dark, and it's like I still want y'all to see what's going on. So I darkened it up back there and I stopped. And that's that. So on that bottom panel, you can clearly see Alexis is sitting there contemplating something, or she's talking, and you can see in the background what's going on to help to create that sort of flashback vibe in the panel. So just context of what that was about. But in any event, that is my page for page 60. So you guys let me know what you think. like, comment, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. I appreciate the feedback if you give it to me. And you all have a good one, and I'm out.